Yes, you are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm. Sorry for delay. Previous class got delayed little bit. All are getting my screen and voice. Fine, guys. Fine, good. So in yesterday's session, so we have seen what is Maven terminology and how to create the Java standalone application by using Maven. In yesterday's session, we have seen Maven terminology. What terminology we have seen? Archetype, group ID, artifact ID, packaging. So what is the purpose of archetype, guys? What archetype will represent? Right, what type of project we want to create? Archetype will be represented what type of project we are creating. Whether you are creating standalone application or web application, we need to specify through this archetype. What is group ID? Group ID we can give either company name or project name. Company name or project name you can give as the group ID. Next, artifact ID, project name or project module you need to give. Suppose if you take group ID as company name, company name if you give, then artifact ID you need to give as project name. Suppose if you give group ID is project name, then artifact ID we need to give module name. Packaging, right, it will represent we need to package our project as jar file or var file. If your project is standalone application, then we need to package it as jar. If your application is web application, then we need to package it as var file. Understood, guys? All these things we discussed in yesterday's session, guys. Right, we have created one standalone application also. Right, guys, what application we have created? So we have created 01 Maven application. 01 Maven application we have created. So when you created this project, inside this project, guys please mute. Right, when you create this project, inside this folder, what we will get, guys? We will get two things. What two things we will get? One is SRC we will get. Second one is form.xml we will get it here. Second one is form.xml. Right, when we create a project by using Maven, you will get these two things inside this folder. One is SRC, second one is form.xml. So these two things will be placed in same location. SRC folder and form.xml both are present in same location. Fine. So inside this SRC, what we will get? Again, inside this SRC, we will get two things. What two things we will get inside this SRC? One is main folder we will get. Second one is test folder we will get. Right? So inside main folder, again we will get one more folder which is Java folder. Same, inside test also we will get one more folder which is Java folder. SRC stands for source. Inside this SRC main Java, we need to write our source code. Means all we need to write .java files. We need to put inside this SRC main Java folder. Inside this Java folder, test Java folder, we need to write JUnit test cases. Here, whatever the Java classes you are writing inside SRC main Java, for all those things, corresponding JUnit test cases you need to write inside test-java folder. Is it clear, guys? Right. So yesterday we have created one folder where we have created inside D drive. I think what we took, forget the name. One folder we created. What is the folder name? Sample programmer. Anyone remember? Maven project. Let me check. Otherwise, we will sort it based on date. We will get to know. Maven. Where Maven project? Yesterday, what is date? 25th, right? 25th. Inside this, here we created Maven project. See guys, so this is the project what we created in yesterday's session. If you open this, here you can see SRC folder and POM. If you open this SRC, you can see main and test. If you open this main, you can see Java. If you open this Java, here you can see sample IT. And inside this, you can see application. This is Java file. See guys, this is what file? Java file. Here, whatever the Java files are available for all those things inside this test folder, Java folder, we need to write the test classes. See guys, for that already we have app test is available. There, whatever the Java file is there, for that corresponding test classes also available. These test classes also Java files only. Fine. So now come to this, our main thing guys. For this, this you no need to worry about the code and all. Forget about that. So we need to focus on pom.xml file. For us, this pom is very, very important. Pom is very, very important. Edit this pom guys. Open this form. Open with, I'm going to open Notepad. Notepad plus not there. Notepad plus. Open with, so in Notepad plus we will get properly guys. Choose another app. I want Notepad plus. Here already is there, right? Fine. See guys, so this is our POM. This is our POM guys. See, at group ID we are getting sample ID, company name something we are getting. Artifact ID we are getting project name. Already I told. At group ID, if you take company name, then artifact ID you need to take as the project name. Group ID, if you take project name, then artifact ID we need to take as the module name. See, I want to package it as jar. Here we are specifying that before packaging, it will check inside pom.xml only. Here what we have. Here if you have var, it will package as the var. Here if you have jar, it will package as the jar. See guys, here snapshot is available. Snapshot means what guys? Right, pom.xml is very, very important for us. For DevOps people, pom.xml is very, very important. Here each and everything we need to understand. Right, snapshot means what? Snapshot means this project is under construction, not completed. This project is not completed. So if a project is not completed, then we need to take snapshot version. Suppose if your project is completed, so then here we will get release version. Project is completed, it is going to release. It is going to deliver to the client. So then here we need to take release. Snapshot means what? Under construction. Release means what? We are delivering to the client. Okay, fine guys. See guys. So what is this URL? Maven.apache.org. Maven.apache.org. What is this? I will explain. Give me few minutes. Give me a few minutes. I will explain what is this. See guys. So here what we have? Dependencies. This is very, very important. Dependencies. Right. In this dependencies, what we have? Multiple dependencies are available. Inside the dependencies section, by default, we have this JUnit dependency. Are we adding this JUnit dependency? Are we adding this? Who added this one? We didn't add this JUnit dependency. By default, right? JUnit dependency you are getting. You no need to add. Maven will add that JUnit dependency. We no need to add it, guys. We no need to add. So why? Because here we have seen one test class. App test is available. Inside that app test, some JUnit test cases are available. If you want to run that JUnit test cases, compulsory JUnit dependency is required. By default, Maven will add that JUnit dependency. We no need to add. Understood, guys? Now, here we need to add some other dependencies. Already I told, if you want to develop one project, only Java is not sufficient. Along with that Java, we need so many other frameworks also. If you want to develop one project, only Java is not sufficient. Along with that Java, we need so many other frameworks also. Right. So those frameworks we no need to download and we no need to add to our project. We no need to download and add to project, guys. What we need to do? Right, those corresponding dependency just we need to add inside the pom.xml. Right, pom.xml will download for us. We no need to download, guys. Here, whatever the dependencies we are adding, those dependencies will be downloaded by Maven itself. Maven will download for us. Just you need to tell to Maven what dependencies you required. How you will tell to Maven what dependencies are required? Through this pom.xml only we need to tell. And inside this pom.xml, we need to configure all our required dependencies. By using this pom.xml only, Maven will download all those dependencies. From where Maven will download those dependencies, I will explain. I will explain from where it will download. Okay, guys. See, I want Spring framework also. Spring. Right, for Java people, if Java projects, any Java projects wants to create, Spring framework is very, very important. Nowadays, Spring Boot is very, very important. See, now I want to add one Spring dependency at here. How you will get that one? Here we have one repository. Here we have one repository is available. See, which repository? Maven repository. At MVN repository. Yesterday I told. Go to this MVN repository. Go to MVN repository. Here just search whatever you want. Whatever you want, just search it here. Spring. Spring I want. Spring Core. Spring Core you will get it here. See guys. Here latest version is 5.3.22. Go to here. Click on that. See, this is the dependency. This is the dependency. It is copied. Now go to our pom.xml. Here paste that one. See guys, that's it. That's it guys. Here we are adding the required dependency information. Required dependency. See guys, I want this dependency. Right, who is providing this dependency? Company is a Spring Framework company. Where you will get, right, what is the version? See guys, Spring Core dependency I want. Who is providing that? Spring Framework. Arc.Spring Framework is providing. Which version you want? 5.3.22 version I want. Everything you need to tell to Maven. Based on these details, Maven will download for us. We no need to download. Group ID means company name. Artifact ID means, right, whatever you want that project. Spring Core one project is available. For each and every dependency, corresponding projects are available, guys. Okay, which version you want? 5.3.22 version you want. Okay. Right. Here, whatever the dependencies you are configuring, based on that, Maven will download for you. Maven will download for you. See, just now I told JUnit already available. JUnit already available, guys. See, for every system, one local repository is available. Right. So these dependencies are downloading from where? From repository. From Maven repositories, these dependencies will be downloaded. Maven repositories, how many types are there? 3 types of Maven repositories are available. Guys, here whatever the dependencies we are configuring, all those dependencies will be downloaded from Maven repository. All those dependencies will be downloaded from Maven repository. How many types of repositories are available? 3 types of repositories are available. For every system, one local Maven repository is available. Right? This JUnit is available in that local repository. Right? Here, Maven will take from that local repository only. Let me check. JUnit is available in that local repository or not. First, tell me where that local repository is available. Where that guys, you guys are getting what I am explaining? Please confirm in chat box. If you guys feel speed, fine, good. See guys. So from where Maven will download all these dependencies? Maven repository. How many repositories we have? 3 repositories we have. For each and every system, we have one local repository. Maven will download from that local repository and give it to our project. See guys. So where that local repository is available, guys? Where that local repository is available in our system? Just now I told local repositories are available in our missions only. Where it is available? Go to C drive. Go to C drive, guys. Go to C drive. In C drive, go to users. Go to users. In users, your name will get right. So here 91953 is there. For your system, maybe you guys will have your name. Right here, you can able to see .m2. See guys, this is .m2. This is the local repository. If you click on this .m2, here you can able to see the repository. Maven will download all the dependencies from here only. Go to repository. Go to repository. Here you can able to see JUnit dependency. JUnit is available. See guys, right, which version of JUnit is present in our pom.xml file? Right, 3.8.1. Right, that 3.8.1 is available in our local repository or not? 3.8.1 is available. Right, so this is JUnit 3.8.1 dependency. From where it will download, guys? Maven will download the dependencies from our local repository. Right? How you will get the dependencies into this local repository? Tell me. First, Maven will search. Right here, whatever the dependencies you are configuring, those dependencies are available in our local repository or not, it will check. If it is available, it will take and give it to your project. Suppose these dependencies are not available in that, what it will do? What it will do, guys? If those dependencies are not available, then what it will do? What it will do, guys? Please tell me. See guys, very important, guys. Guys, in other institute, no one will explain all these internals. Right? Just they will explain, right, how to create the Maven project, how to create the Maven project, and what Maven goals are there. That's it, guys. They will complete only one day. Only one day they will explain. See guys, here no one, you can ask any other DevOps people. If any friends are there, you can ask how, from where Maven will download the dependencies, how many repositories are available, what are the names, right? So you can check with them. See guys, right, how Maven will download the dependencies. How Maven will download the dependencies. How Maven will download the dependencies. Right? So Maven will download the dependencies using repositories. Maven will download the dependencies using repositories, right? So in Maven we have three types of repositories. In Maven we have below three types of repositories. We have below three types of repositories. In Maven we have three types of repositories. What three types of repositories are available? One is central repository. Second one is that central repository is available. Second one is very important, guys. Second one is remote repository. Third one is local repository. Central repository, remote repository, local repository. These three types of repositories are available. Right, guys? Who will maintain this central repository, guys? Who will maintain the central repositories? Central repositories are maintaining by Apache organization. Who is providing Maven, guys? Maven is providing by Apache. This central repository also maintaining by that Apache organization only, right? So Maven is providing by Apache. Central repository also maintaining by Apache organization only. Who is maintaining the central repository? Apache organization. Who is providing this Maven? So that company only maintaining this central repository also. So next one is remote repository. This is very important. Remote repository is maintaining by the companies. Every company, right? Suppose if you go to TCS will maintain one remote repository. If you go to HCL will maintain one remote repository. If you go to Wipro will maintain one remote repository. Every company will maintain separate remote repositories. Remote repository will be maintaining by companies. Companies only will maintain these remote repositories, right? So next, coming to local repository. Every mission, right? In each and every mission one local repository will be created. Local repository will be created in our missions only. Right? So where these local repositories are present in our mission, right? So local repository in our mission, in our system, local repository is available in below location. Guys, in each and every mission in this location only local repositories are available. You guys can check location where it is available, guys. C drive, right? Users, right? Here username, right? Username, right? Here .m2. Here we have the local repository. Please go through this, guys. Maven will download the dependencies using repositories. In Maven, we have three types of repositories: central repository, remote repository, local repository. Maven is providing by Apache. Central repository also maintaining by Apache organization only. Remote repository will be maintaining by companies only. Local repositories will be created in our missions only. In our system, where local repositories are available, right, in this location, C drive, users, username, .m2. Is it clear, guys? Now observe carefully. Now observe carefully, guys. Local repository, local repository, local repository. 1 minute, guys. It will reduce the size. Local repository, local repository. Right here we have central repository. Here we have the remote repository. Remote repository. Observe carefully, guys. So we have fine, no problem. So this is central repository, this is remote repository, so this is local repository, guys. Right here we have our project. Right here we have our project. Project is available at here. Okay, guys. Right. So formed our project will connect with this local repository, guys. Our project will connect with this local repository only. So whatever the dependencies we required, Maven will download those dependencies from local repository. From local repository only, Maven will download the required dependencies into our project. Right. Our project is connected with local repository. Okay, suppose here inside this local repository, if required dependencies are not available, inside this local repository, if required dependencies are not available, then from where Maven will download those repositories? From where Maven will download those repositories? Maven will download those repositories from, you guys go to here, whatever the URL we are configuring, whatever the URL we are configuring, from this it will download the dependencies. First it will check in local repository. If it is available in the local repository, it will download. If it is not available in the local repository, then Maven will download from this location. Right? So URL maven.apache.org means which repository? Central repository. Central repository. From central repository, first it will download to local repository. From local repository, it will go to the project. Understood, guys? Right? If it is not available in the local repository, then Maven will download from the central repository. From central repository to local repository to project, it will come. Okay, fine guys. But then when it will go to remote repository, guys? In central repository, you will get everything, right? In central repository, you will get everything, right? So when you will go to this remote repository, tell me guys, when you will go to this remote repository? Who is maintaining this remote repository? Remote repositories are maintaining by companies. Companies are maintaining. See, for our practice purpose, for our learning purpose, we can connect with this central repository. But in the company, when you attend for the interviews with 3 years or 4 years experience, don't tell Maven is downloading the repositories. Right? They will ask. In interview, they will ask. Right? In your project, from where Maven is downloading the dependencies. In your project, from where Maven is downloading the dependencies. Don't tell in my project Maven is downloading the dependencies from central repository. No guys, no. In projects, in companies, in real times, we won't use this central repository. We will use remote repository. In companies, we will use remote repository. Right? From remote repositories, dependencies will come to this local repository to project, it will come. Right? For practicing purpose, for learning purpose, we are connecting with this central repository to download the dependencies. But in real time, tomorrow once you guys are joined in the company, right, you guys won't use this central repository. Every company will maintain one remote repository. From there only we need to download the dependencies, right? They won't allow to download the dependencies from central repository. Even we won't get the access also for these guys in the companies. Right? If you want to use this one in your project, sometimes they won't give the access also for this. Compulsory, we should download the dependencies from remote repository. Why companies are maintaining remote repository separately? We have central repository, right? So you can download from here only, right? Why companies are maintaining this remote repository separately? I will tell. See, inside this project, I'm using Spring Core. Which version we are using, guys? Spring dependency we are using. Spring Core dependency we are using. Spring Core we are using means that is one project. That is one project, guys. That project we are importing in our project for our business requirement purpose. Okay. So instead of redeveloping everything, someone is developed this Spring Core project. We are using that project in our application. Fine. Right. So which version we are using it here? See, Spring Core, right, 5.3.22 we are using. Okay, 5.3.22 we are using it here. 5.2.3 something we are using it here. Right. So from where you downloaded this Spring Core? From where you downloaded Spring Core? From central repository. From central repository you downloaded. Spring Core you downloaded from central repository. Suppose tomorrow, right, someone did some changes in this Spring Core project. In this central repository, whatever the Spring Core dependency is available, in that they make some changes. That Apache organization team did some changes inside this right, Spring Core project. Now your project will work, guys. Tell me. If they did changes in this, you are using that one in your project, right? So, but unfortunately, they did some changes, but no one will inform you. They didn't inform you, guys. They didn't inform you, right? I am changing something in this, like that. Right? So now tell me, your project will work? No, your project will not work. Your project will not work, guys. So that's why we know, right, in companies we should not download from the central repositories. We should download remote repository, right? Suppose if you take Spring Core from remote repository, right? So who is maintaining this remote repository? Our company only. So before making any changes, they will inform to us. we are going to make some changes inside the Spring core. Please take care of your project accordingly. So like that, they will inform to us. But central repository, Maven organization team will inform to you. Maven organization team will inform you. Tell me guys, Maven organization team will inform you? No, they won't inform. So that's why companies in real time compulsory we should download the dependencies from remote repository only. Is it clear guys? What is local repository? What is central repository? What is remote repository? Right. From first, right, Maven will check inside the local repository the specified dependencies are available or not. If it is available, it will download from here and give it to your project. If it is not available in the companies, it will download from remote repository to local repository, from local repository to project it will give. If you go right for outside, right now we are practicing, right? Now we are going to connect with that central repository only. We will download from here only to, right, from here to local, local to project. Is it clear guys? So let me add the points guys. So when we add a dependency, when we add dependency in pom.xml file, when we add dependency in pom.xml file, Maven will search for that dependency in local repository. If it is available, if it is available, it will download, if it is available, it will download and add to the project build path. Right, all the dependencies will be added to project build path only. Right. See guys, when we add dependency in pom.xml file, Maven will search for that dependency in local repository. If it is available, it will download and add to the project build path. Right. Suppose if dependency is not available, if dependency is not available in local repository, then Maven will connect to central repository. Maven will connect to central repository or remote repository. Right. In the companies, it will connect to remote repository. Outside of the company, it will connect to central repository. Central or remote repository based on our configuration. Guys, tell me, in interview, they will ask which remote repository you are using in your project. What answer you guys will give? Anyone? Rohit, Nexus we are not using for this dependencies. Right? Whatever after packaging, whatever the jar or vars you are creating to store those things, we are using Nexus, not for these dependencies. dependencies. Don't tell from where you will download all the dependencies, means don't tell Nexus. Why we are using Nexus? To store the packaging jars or vars, right? Settings.xml, right? So you won't use settings.xml, right? Settings.xml will be taking care by the Java people. That's why I'm not talking anything related to settings.xml, right? For my Java classes, right, I will explain the settings.xml, but here I'm not talking anything related to settings.xml. Fine, right? So we are going to discuss one tool, guys, one repository tool, which is JFrog. JFrog is one of the remote repository. JFrog is the one of the remote repository. Most of the companies are using JFrog remote repository, guys. You can say in my project we are using JFrog remote repository. Okay, you can say JFrog. Companies are using, most of the companies are using JFrog as remote repository, and you also in interview you can say in my project we are using JFrog remote repository. Is it okay? Not Nexus. Different purposes, correct. JFrog, not frog, JFrog. JFrog is different, Nexus is different. Both we will use for different purposes. Right. So before deploying any var file to the server, we need to deploy the var file or jar file inside the server, right? So at that time, right, Jenkins will download those var file, right, from Nexus. To deploy the var file into the server, before deploying, Jenkins will download those var file from the Nexus server, right? After packaging whatever the var or jar is there, so those things we will keep inside the Nexus server. We will store inside the Nexus server. In our company, in pom.xml, what is your question?
Sir, actually, I have to set up my project, right? So when I have seen pom.xml, there were a lot of dependency or something using Nexus URL was there. So I did not know what is the purpose of Nexus.
I will explain. So I will explain. Nexus is different purpose. JFrog is different purpose. Just now I told, right? See here, if you open the pom.xml, here we are packaging our project as jar. Here we are specifying. Here we are specifying.
Sir, one question. Actually, we have a requirement as well to migrate from Nexus to JFrog. If they have different purpose, how can we migrate this?
I will explain this. I will explain differences and everything. I will explain. Give me time, okay? First, let me complete this. Otherwise, it will go out of track. First, let me complete. So, Nexus and the JFrog differences I will explain. Okay. Here, what I have written. If dependency is not available, so in local repository, then Maven will connect it to central repository or remote repository based on our configuration. Okay. So here we need to configure. Here we need to configure, guys. Inside pom.xml, here, see, they configured central repository. URL they have given central repository. Based on this, it will download. Based on this, it will download. Suppose if you want to connect with remote repository, here what we need to take, instead of this we need to take like this. Here, see guys, a repository we need to take like this. Inside this repository we need to take id we need to take right here, id inside repositories. 1 minute, guys. Repositories, first repositories, and inside repositories we need to take repository. Inside dependencies, how we are taking dependency, same way inside repositories we need to take a repository. Here we need to configure. id, some id we will take, and here we will take we will take URL we need to take it here. Right here, what URL we need to take? JFrog repo URL. JFrog repo URL we need to take here. Like this, repositories we need to configure inside pom.xml file. Like this, repositories we need to configure inside pom.xml file. So that JFrog also we need to configure here only. See, if you give this one, it will connect to central repository. If you give this one, it will connect to a remote repository. Okay, guys. Right. So let me complete this part. By default, Maven will connect with central repository. Okay. If we want to use remote repository, if you wanted to use remote repository, then we need to configure remote repository details. So how we need to configure? Every software company will maintain their own repositories, guys, own remote repositories. Here, take it as note this one. Here, take one more note. Every company will maintain their own remote repositories. Right here, example you can take it as JFrog. You can take as example. Right here, whatever I have given, I'm going to paste it here. Configuring remote repository. Clear, guys? Up to here, guys, repositories are clear. Local repository, central repository, remote repository. Is it clear? So if you guys are clear this, tomorrow we will talk about Maven Goals. So we will talk about Maven Goals, guys. We have several goals are available. That is compulsory interview question in interview. Maven goals are very, very important. That is compulsory question. And as a DevOps engineer, we need to do those things only daily. Right? What goals are available? Clean is available. Compile is available. Test is available. Package is available. Install is available. So like that, several goals are available. We will discuss and we will see practically. Tomorrow we will see practically how to use Maven clean goal, how to use Maven compile goal, how to use Maven test goal, how to use Maven package, how to use Maven install. Right? Right here, what is the purpose of each and every goal also we will discuss. That is very, very important in entire Maven. That is the most important interview question. Maven goals. So up to here, clear, guys. Repositories. I will try to finish tomorrow. Will take more time and will try to finish this Maven, guys. Tomorrow will take, once this Maven goals are completed, we need to understand how to create the web application by using Maven also. And inside web application, what we will get, each and everything we need to understand. Tomorrow, first I will talk about the Maven goals. Once that Maven goals are clear, I will create one web application by using Maven and I will explain about that.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah,
Can I?
go ahead, please.
Yeah, so this is not related subject. So I'm not attending the simultaneously the AWS sessions. Is compulsory to attend that, or any? I am only the person, let the person like attend అవ్వాలా లేదా అనేది. సో ఐ లిటిల్ బిట్ కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఆఫ్ దట్ సార్.
అంటే అసలు ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ కంప్లీట్ గా వద్దనుకుంటున్నారా, లేకపోతే ఈ
నేను అటెండ్ అవుతా తర్వాత తర్వాత అంటే ఎలా అంటే
సింపుల్ అండ్ దట్ ఈస్ అది డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యూ మేడం. వై బికాస్ see here, if you want complete the course quickly in 2 months,
that is not required, sir. For me though it's not required.
Okay, then
so I want to learn I want to learn a little bit subject clearly, because why I'm telling, so because the previous year I got opportunity in TCS as a Java developer, but I didn't properly prepare for anything. So now I want to move to the DevOps. సో కొంచెం అలా నాకు సబ్జెక్ట్ పరంగా ప్రాబ్లం అయింది. సో 1 by 1 వెళ్దామని అనుకుంటున్నా. ఓకేనా సార్?
ఓకే ఫైన్, నో ఇష్యూ.
అది అందుకని. సో
బట్ హియర్ anyway but just only in DevOps we will use that EC2 how to create the virtual machines and all those things, right? So that I will show anyway, that I will show in DevOps also. Here also I will show how to create the virtual machine in AWS. Only that part is required for our DevOps. Remaining things you can learn slowly, not a problem.
I joined DevOps with AWS and kalpe join sir, but 1 by 1
1 by 1 you can go, not a problem. 1 by 1 you can go. And here in DevOps whatever the AWS services are required, I will cover it here also, no issue.
Okay sir.
Right, first I will show that one, then only we will use it in our DevOps, no problem.
Okay sir, ఇది DevOps అయిపోయిన తర్వాత then I will join.
Yeah, you can continue like.
Okay sir, thank you so much sir. This is I have it all.
Yeah, thank you. Fine guys, so tomorrow is a very very important class. Don't miss tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are going to discuss Maven Goals, right? Tomorrow we'll spend more time and I will try to finish it. Tomorrow I don't have office anyway, right? So we'll spend more time and we'll try to finish that Maven. Okay guys, fine guys, I'm stopping it here. Thank you. Good night guys.